Hi, good morning. My name is Ravi. I am the CEO and co-founder of Regulo. And
Hi, this is Sandeep. I'm a co-founder and CTO of Regulo, and I'm here to help Ravi with the demo.
Okay, so the main reason that we are here today is to talk about fraud and how it has been growing in the last few years. Just last year, it has grown by almost 40%, and we are here to show you how Regulo can help you reduce that fraud itself. Right? The main reason that we think that fraud has been growing in the last few years is one that most of the companies fight fraud in a silo. They don't actually work with anybody else. That's the first number one reason. The second is most of the solutions that are in the market mostly focus on the pattern of fraud. What that means is basically you're trying to see, how did the fraudster get into the system itself and try to put stops to how the fraudster got into the system, right? These are the two key reasons that we believe that fraud has been growing, right? Our unique approach to solve this is one, again, help you share data amongst yourself and prevent the fraud. That's the number one approach. The second is, and it's also unique to us, is we focus on the fraudster themselves. We don't focus on the pattern itself, we focus on the fraudster themselves. And when we talk about data sharing, one of the key issues that comes up is privacy, and that's something that we have built a core technology around to actually work with privacy itself. So Beam will show you how one of our solutions, which is a face hashing technology, what it does is basically you use a face of a customer, and then you can convert that into a hash. It's similar to password hashing, where it is irreversible. You can deal with hashes. Hashes are non-PII data itself. Whoever you have shared the hash with, it doesn't really, they don't really know who the person is, right? So you are seeing some of the transformations there. It's probably very quick, so we can try another example as well. So again, the input is a face, and then it converts, it does multiple transformations, and then converts that into a hash itself. Now, this hash, again, just to repeat, it is irreversible, and you actually can't get back the face itself, so which means you actually don't know who the person was. So that's how we comply to the privacy regulations itself, right? And this is the technology that powers most of our solutions, as you can see on the left side of the tab there. So fraud screening is the one that we are going to demo, but we do have other solutions precisely leveraging this core technology itself, right? So now we'll also show how this hashing works when you compare two different phases. It compares hashes itself. Again, we can show two comparisons itself. So this is me. I don't know if you guys recognize that, but that was a long time ago. And this is two of my faces itself. Now, what the technology is going to do is going to convert both of these faces into hashes, and then the hashes are going to be compared itself, right? That's what it's doing right now. Okay. So this is a match. Again, our technology, we just launched a version 2.0 of this model itself. So this is something that continues to mature. We are trying to mature it to a stage where we can get 1 in 10,000 FAR accuracy itself. Okay? Now, the key solution that we use this technology for is fraud prevention. In fraud prevention, what we are doing is basically, if you look at the Wild West movies where you had the wanted posters of people, of the known criminals or anybody, you had the wanted posters. We are trying to do the same thing. Like, if one company recognizes one person as a fraudster, you put a wanted poster and then you share it across, right? And then it is actually converted to a hash. Hashes are the ones that are actually shared, right? So now, when you are checking this data, there are 3 sources. I'll explain them once I show one of the examples itself, right? So let's say you have a customer being onboarded, you have the customer's face, and you want to know whether that customer is a known fraudster or not. And then you check our data set, and then we'll first convert that into a hash. Again, for the demo here, we are showing the actual faces, but in the back end, everything is working at the hash level itself, right? So now you see multiple rows there. Here, in this case, this particular person is a known fraudster, right? And you see 2 particular rows there. And I want to spend some time explaining those rows itself. The first one is the bottom one that I'll explain, which is, if you see the company type, it shows internal. It shows when the fraud was reported. It also shows internal. Internal, in this case, means that it is your own internal data. Let's say in the last few years, you've had your fraud teams identifying known fraudsters, and you have that data set, let's say 100, 200 faces of known fraudsters. You can convert those into hashes and put it on our data set. You can query every time that a new customer comes in, right? That's the first data set. We'll also give you a details where you can have a reference ID. You can check back. We actually don't have the data because it's a hash. The second data source that you see there is the Regulo research. It's our own research. We do this research. We have a team of people who are collating known fraudster data across the world, and then we are putting it out in our data set itself. In this case, you can actually get more details if you click view here. So we can also show you what kind of a face we have in our data set. This is public information. This is not our information. So we can actually show this data. You can also see the link if you can click the link itself. So we can also show you where we have fetched this data set itself, if you can go back, right? So we can also provide you a PDF download, which is basically sometimes the links are broken, so we also provide you full audit trail itself of how we are deciding. Again, sometimes you may decide that, this decision of Regulo was not right, but it's something that you can do on your own because we are providing you all the information, right? So this is one example. I want to show you another example where let's say you have another customer coming in. Yeah. Okay. So again, the same thing happened. The face converted into a hash, and then the hash again is being checked into the data set. Now we also see for this particular person, if you, I don't know if any of you recognize, this was a known fraudster who had done almost 9 mortgage frauds in a sequence of 2-3 months, and she had done in one company she had done almost 4 mortgage frauds itself, and nobody could recognize, right? So the last stage that you see, it's a consortium data. Somebody else reported this as a known fraudster, right? Just to summarize what we are doing here, we are helping you share data amongst yourselves and identify known fraudsters while still preserving the core, which is privacy, using our hashing technology. Thank you so much.